Now, if you want to be more productive and less stressed with your back to school prep, then stick around. Here in Australia, all of our children are heading back to school for the new school year for 2021. Now, whether you are in public school, private school, whether you are still virtual learning wherever you are, or whether you're a homeschooler, we all need supplies. And that means uniforms, books, lunch boxes, shoes. We need it all, and I'm going to try and help you take the stress out of getting all of that organised so that the kids can go back motivated and happy and ready to learn. Now, of our 16 children, 9 have already graduated from school, and that leaves just 7 children at school this year, and they will be from grade 1 up to grade 11. So because I've got 7 kids in school, I'm going to give you 7 tips for your back to school prep.
Check your book list.
So that's right, check your book list. At the end of every school year, the teachers will give the students a new book list for the next year. Now, those teachers put a lot of effort into organising all the books and supplies that they need for their classes, so it's really important to do your very best to get what's on that list. Now, if you're going to order those online, it's important to get in early and get it done as soon as you can so that there's plenty of time for delivery or pickup before that new year starts. Now, if you're going to go into the shops and buy all the books and supplies yourself, make sure you make a master list before you go in there. You can put it all together and know exactly what you need to get. It's kind of time consuming if you do it student by student. So if you have more than one child, it's a good idea to combine those lists so that you can go into the shop and you can get your supplies quickly. And don't forget to check the prices from store to store. There may be great differences in the prices of each item. So you want to save your hard-earned cash, so make sure you check that first.
Check your uniforms.
Every school is going to have a comprehensive uniform list and all the requirements for your children. So it's important to buy what's on that list. Now, kids can be really tough on clothes, so from season to season and from year to year, there are a few things that you need to check before you send your kids back to school. So check the size, make sure they fit properly, make sure they're not too small or too tight, which would be very uncomfortable for the kids, or not too large either. I know they need room to grow into uniforms, but if you make it too big, then it has the same problem as being too small. It will be uncomfortable on the children and it could actually get in their way. So make sure they fit properly. If you're using the uniforms from last year, sometimes having them packed away for a few weeks, all those stains and marks can come back out again. So give them a good look over, look for any marks on the uniforms, then you can spray them, soak them, wash them, make sure they're all clean again, and the kids can go back neat and tidy. Now, while you are checking on the cleanliness of the uniform, you can check out for any repairs at the same time. So now we're looking for, do they need buttons replaced? Have the seams come undone? And kids grow really super fast, so don't forget to check the hems on the skirts, the shorts, and the trousers. Now, in particular for the girls, they're going to want hair accessories, so make sure they are school approved. So ribbons, clips, hairbands, all those types of items. Just check on the uniform list, make sure that the school approves of what you're using. Now, if you can afford new uniforms, that's fantastic. Not everyone can, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with using secondhand uniforms. Most schools will have a uniform shop or a clothing pool where you can buy good quality uniforms at a great price, and it will save you heaps of money. And don't forget, school hat. buy the school hat, make sure it fits properly, and then teach your children to wear it all the time.
Check your footwear.
So let's talk shoes. Now, lots of little feet going to school, lots of little feet growing. We want good support and good quality shoes for our kids to wear. They're going to be in them all day, so they have to be comfortable. Now, not everyone can afford to buy the really expensive school shoes, but my advice on that would be buy the best quality that you can afford for your family's budget. Now, have you ever got to the first day of school and the kids have put their new school shoes on and they've gone, "Mum, they're so tight"? Well, that normally happens because when they've tried on the school shoes, they've used the wrong socks. So when they're trying them on, make sure you're using the school socks with them, and then they'll know exactly how they fit with those socks, and that will save all of that issue on the first day of school. Now, let's see, what else about shoes? Buy a spare pair if you can afford it. Simple as that. They often have school shoes marked down to really great prices right before back to school time, so if you can afford it, buy a spare pair. But don't stockpile shoes. Now, in my house, because we've got a lot of kids, we have a big crate of shoes, so we actually use them very quickly. But if you've only got 1 or 2 kids, only buy that 1 extra pair of shoes, and then just keep an eye on them, make sure that they're in good condition, and then you can just replace them as necessary. And check the condition of the shoes. If you're not buying new shoes for your kids, make sure that the soles are okay, that there's no splits in them, and check the laces too. Now, if your child can't tie laces, you might be better off with a shoe that has a Velcro strap on it. So other than that, just check that they're all in good condition, that they're comfortable, and they're giving the support to your children's feet, and they should have a great time at school running around in those shoes.
Check your backpacks.
School bags, backpacks. Now, if you think that kids are tough on school shoes and their uniforms, wow, their school bags, they cop a flogging, don't they? I mean, kids drag them around on the ground, they throw them about, and some kids even sit on them and use them as a chair while they're eating their lunch at school. So backpacks have to be tough. Now, a lot of schools will have their own bags now with the school logo on it, so if that's what's required at your school, make sure you grab one of those. But if you're going to go to the department store and buy a bag there, there's a few things you need to look out for. To make sure that they have a good padded back on them, that they have a nice wide strap so it doesn't hurt the kids' shoulders, and that they are big enough to carry the books. Again, there is no point in buying a really cute backpack if the school books don't fit in there. So make sure you know what size books the kids are going to have, and then make sure they fit. Don't overload the backpacks. They can get quite heavy with the load of books that kids have to carry around now, but just make sure that they fit and that the kids have got those straps pulled up to where they need to be to carry it properly on their back. And I think it's really important to teach our children to respect their items. I mean, mum and dad go out and work very hard to buy all these things for their education and for their learning experience. And so if we teach our children to respect their bags and respect their books and all their property, I think that's a great lesson to teach our children, so that they're not being quite so rough with all their equipment at school. So just have that quiet little word to the kids. We don't want the kids to be frightened to come and tell mum and dad that, look, something happened to the bag and it might need a repair or it might need a clean. So just have that chat with the kids before they go back to school. We want to respect our property, we want to keep it in good condition, and then you're going to have a much better experience because you're going to have a clean spot to keep all of your books to bring home.
Check your lunches.
So how many kids have you got going back to school this year? As I said, we've got 7 of our children going back to school this year. That's a lot of lunch boxes to prepare every day. So before you run out to the shops and buy a lunchbox, give a little thought to what are you going to be packing for your kids' lunches. In our household, our kids have to take at least 1 piece of fruit, 1 lot of dairy, they get 1 snack, and then they take either a sandwich, a roll, or a wrap. And then if they're still hungry after that, they can add extra things to it. But if you cannot fit a tub of yogurt or a fresh apple or a nice large banana into your lunchbox, then don't buy that lunchbox. There's so many out there, so choose wisely when you're spending your money. So the different types of lunchboxes, there are insulated ones, which will keep the cold in with the food, and there are just the plastic container ones. So check with your school first to see where they're going to be storing their lunchboxes. Now, if those lunchboxes are staying in their school bags, you might want to buy the insulated types that will keep the food cold. But we had an occasion where the kids' lunchboxes were being put into refrigerators, and so having an insulated bag for their lunches made no sense whatsoever. So they actually asked that the kids have them in the plastic containers. So check there, because you just don't know what they're going to require of you. And again, before you spend money, know what the kids need to have at the school. Now, we all want our kids to eat healthy, so we're going to concentrate mainly on fresh fruit and veggies and good quality food, but it's okay to have a treat occasionally too. The kids are at school, they're working hard, they're learning lots, and I just think it's okay, everything in moderation. Give them a little treat or two every once in a while. Because if you don't give it to them, they're going to get it from their friends anyway. So you choose what your kids are going to eat, give them a few little treats along the way, and they'll be very happy. And kids need a good water bottle. They need to drink water throughout the day. They're going to be working hard and playing hard at school, so we want to make sure that they are well hydrated. So make sure it's a good sized water bottle, make sure the kids wash it out and refill it frequently, and make sure they drink it.
Check your home supplies.
Absolutely use what you have at home first before going out and spending more money on school supplies. Now, we've all been caught, haven't we? Yes, I've been caught where I didn't know what I had at home and I went out and I bought new supplies for the kids. Not great on the budget, that one. So keep a list of what you have stored at home. Now, it's wise to have a bit of a stockpile of the basics. So we're talking lead pencils, exercise books, sharpeners, rulers, all those basic things that all the kids are going to need. Use the back to school sales to stock up on those items while they're really cheap. I think that's it.
Check your homework.
When they come home from school, give the kids an opportunity to decompress for a moment. Let them get changed out of their uniform, put their shoes and socks away, unpack their lunch boxes and their bags. Have a chat while you have some afternoon tea. Have a snack together and something to drink, just so that the stress level comes back down after that full day's worth of work, and then they can concentrate on what they need to get done that night. Now, it's important to have a space where the kids can do their homework. You don't have to have an actual study set up. I mean, kids are happy sometimes to just sit on their beds or on the floor or at the kitchen table and do their homework, but you want to make a place where it's conducive to learning and where they can concentrate, not too much outside distraction and noise around them, so they can really put that effort in and get it done quickly. Homework can be time consuming, so for small kids, don't let that go on for more than, say, 20 or 30 minutes. I mean, they've worked hard all day, so they really need just to have that evening for family time and for resting as well. And for the older kids, you know, it could take an hour, it could take 2 hours worth of homework, but don't let your kids sit there for, 4 or 5 hours working on schoolwork. I think if it's taking that long to get through the schoolwork, there's an issue somewhere and you need to be contacting the teachers and maybe having a quick discussion about why it's taking so long. Now, if the kids are having any trouble with their homework, make sure that they utilise any of the school tutes that might be happening, where they can use the school computers or they can talk to the teachers. And let them also know that they can always come to mum and dad and ask questions too. And if mum and dad don't have the answers, then we can all look it up and research it together and get the work done. But the kids just need to know that there is help available if they are struggling with any subjects. Now, when kids are learning, so are the parents. We're right along there beside them. So because I've got so many kids in school, here's tip number 8, bonus tip for you. My best advice for back to school will be, as a parent, just support your kids and do the best you can. Nothing in life is perfect, nothing within education and schooling is perfect. There will always be some challenges. Nobody is expected to know everything, so just do the best you can. You want to keep a good relationship with the school. The teachers and the parents, we are all working together for the benefit of our children. So make sure you keep a nice, open and honest relationship with all the teachers and the school principal, so you can just go in and discuss anything you need to throughout the whole school year. and get to know the school community. Get involved, be a part of what's going on at the school, get to know your kids' friends, parents, and who's in their classes. So we can support each other, we can support the school, which is in turn supporting our children. So we want to keep our kids happy and focused and inspired for the school year. So address any problems straight away, get them talking about it, and then, you know what, get up in the morning with everything organised so that they can go off to school with no stress, put a smile on everyone's face, and you're all going to have a fantastic day. And most importantly, having your kids enjoy the learning process is far more important than what grade they are getting. So let's all enjoy this new school year. If you've got any extra tips, pop them in the comments below and we can all share them together. And I'll see you next time. God bless.